2021 IBJJF World No-Gi Championships from here in Garland, Texas, on the outskirts of Dallas. Myself, Howell Teague, and Chase Smith will be bringing the black belt action from here in the No-Gi Worlds, the first No-Gi Worlds since 2019. And Chase, it's been a pretty good morning so far. You see Adam Wodzinski on the back, doing what he does best. Made it all the way over from Poland to compete here this weekend. It's something of a theme. We've seen a lot of international grapplers making their return to grappling here at the World No-Gi.
Yeah, you weren't lying. It's been a very, very thrilling morning of action of jiu-jitsu here, and Adam has wasted no time putting up a ton of points on the board already and patiently working his way towards his choke. It's great to have another No-Gi World. I can't believe it's been 2 years. Oh, face crank here. Adam not making things pleasant for everybody, but...
No, indeed not. Adam on the back right now, competing against Johnny Boswell Jr. of Vincent's junior team. Wodzinski, the Polish black belt, representing Checkmat. And right now, just very smoothly transitioning with this one hook in on top, working on the neck. And Adam, you know, this is kind of funny because he is an ADCC trials winner. He's an ADCC veteran, and he's competed on the No-Gi World stage before. But he really doesn't consider himself a no-gi guy. Isn't that funny?
Yeah, it's true. It's true. I remember when I was at the European ADCC trials that he won, and I interviewed him saying, aren't you excited for ADCC? You just qualified. It's huge. He said, you know, it's pretty awesome, but it's not Worlds in the gi. So I think his perception may have changed since then. But what I really thought was interesting was Adam came over here for Pans as he moves into Mount, and managed to stay because he realized that he could stay in the country and go see Kiss, a Kiss concert. And then why not go to No-Gi Worlds too?
It's a great reason to stick around. And it looks like he will be locking up the katakatami, the arm triangle choke, the head and arm choke from this top position, working on the neck, as you can see there. And slowly chipping away at his opponent's defenses. Boswell Jr. trying to keep safe, tight to his body.
Now, it's important to discuss pacing in the first match is crucial, right? Because despite whatever warm-up you may have had as an athlete, the nerves, the anxiety going into your first match of the day can be a little overwhelming. And everybody, even at the black belt level, still has a bit of an adrenaline dump. So you have to respect Adam taking a nice pace here, really implementing his game at will, as he looks like he may be getting the finish here. It's hard to see from our angle. But you couldn't warm up in a better fashion, Hal.
I mean, the early rounds in the absolute division, it's very much the theme, isn't it? That's kind of the way it goes, that a lot of the early rounds, you know, you're facing lower ranked opponents because the brackets are automatically seeded. And generally what happens is you'll see the competitors use that first match as an opportunity to just get the body moving for the challenges later to come in that day. Looks like Wodzinski's working on that neck right there, and he gets the finish. Gets the finish with a little less than 4 minutes remaining in this match. Very smooth warm-up. I think that we should move over immediately onto mat 2, because we've got Victor Hugo in action, and Victor Hugo is a returning IBJJF World No-Gi Absolute Champion. There we go, Victor Hugo in action on bottom.
Yeah, Victor Hugo's guard, so incredible for a big guy, right? He has no problem inverting, as well as hunting for leg locks from there. We've seen him get things like heel hook finishes, knee bars from an inverted guard. You know, really, really dynamic player. And of course, things are equally dangerous when he comes up on top.
Yeah, look at Hugo on bottom there. He's so flexible and open on bottom. You want to call the action a little bit here, Chase? What are we seeing from Victor Hugo on bottom here?
Well, you're seeing the most modern of guards displayed by one of the best in the game to do it. Of course, again, we mentioned pacing in the last match here with Adam Wodzinski. Victor Hugo also displaying that he's not in a rush here. You know, these are 10-minute matches. Might as well warm up. As he comes up for a quick wrestle-up attempt, he'll get reset here in the middle. Quick reset of the action here. Victor Hugo wastes no time going to his preferred position here, the guard.
We talked a lot about this whenever we watch Victor Hugo compete, about this big man flow. He does it super well in the gi as well. He has the ability to move, especially from on his back, like a lightweight. And that is incredible when you consider that he is 6'4", 280 pounds, and a solid 280 pounds. But he's very, very long. He has great dexterity from bottom. He can invert. But right now, I feel like his opponent, Guilherme Wilson, is playing a very cagey game and doing his best not to engage. You can see Victor Hugo getting a little bit more intense after coming after his opponents, and that is a little. This is something we see here a lot, isn't it? That, you know, the kind of playing from the outside, trying to get those outside passes, trying to work around the guard. Because man, you really don't want to get stuck in the closed guard, for example, going up against somebody like Victor Hugo, right?
Absolutely, and the outside passing game is generally not utilized a lot by the heaviest weight classes, as that takes a lot of speed and extreme coordination, right? So it may be slow going for a little while, but we see Victor now gets to the closed guard before this reset here. This is definitely where he wants to be, and he can really slow down and control the pace of the match at his preference here. For those watching along at home, the Absolute is firing on all mats right now, basically. We have men and women going as well, so feel free to jump around should you wish. If your favorite athlete's competing, definitely keep an eye on that. Follow along live on BJJCompSystem.com. Keep an accurate, up-to-date eye on who's up next. And one thing Victor Hugo is also very good at is cutting the angle and making a way to the back. Let's see if he starts to consider that, as he also looks to isolate an arm. It's always risky, too, to reach behind and try and open the legs that way. Victor Hugo's got a great triangle. Seen him use it many times.
Closed guard is one of those classic positions that we see in jiu-jitsu and in every belt rank, right, from white to black. Still just as effective all these years later, but you see less and less people using it because it is not an easy position to work from. You know, you got to be good. You got to be pretty smart in the attacks, because especially in no-gi, it's so hard to break down somebody's defenses when you're competing here in a high-level tournament like no-gi Worlds.
Scoreboard still completely blank here as Victor Hugo struggles to get some real offense going. His opponent really doing a good job, if you want to call it that, of shutting down Victor, but not seeing a lot of offense from top here.
Two minutes remaining in this match now. And I kind of wonder if in this match that Victor Hugo is much like Adam Wodzinski earlier, Chase, just kind of biding his time and is using this opportunity as something of a warm-up, get the body moving for the challenges later to come, because, well, winning the absolute division here. There is a big takedown, single leg to a body lock, and Victor Hugo scores 2 points and moves directly into the mount position as well. Another 4 points on the board right there. That's
and that's what happens.
That's actually a 7-point move technically, because he passed the guard into the mount. So he's now got 9 points.
Yeah, incredible performance there from Victor, and that's what happens, right? We were saying that he just needs one opening, and suddenly it's a freight train coming down on you. Victor Hugo now looking to lock up this arm triangle. Does have a minute or so left to finish, get the finish here. Let's see if he gets it done.
He is working on it. He's got about 40 seconds remaining, and there is the tap with about 41 seconds remaining on the clock. Victor Hugo scores his first submission of the 2021 IBJJF World No-Gi Championships. Something of a kind of a calm performance, let's call it, you know, not going out there to blow any doors off, but gets the job done and looks in a good spot to continue his campaign in the absolute division. We got much more action coming up here. Mat 3, waiting on deck is Fionn Davis. She will be going up against Gabby McComb shortly. Oh, we see some blood.
Victor Hugo opened up somewhere.
Yeah, it looks like a cut, possibly. Hard to see exactly, but there's blood.
Those
all over
fingernails
his
will
face.
get you sometimes.
Yeah, it can happen. Just looking around the mats, I would suggest if you've got the FloZone, if you've got the desktop open, then the split screen is always a great option where you can get the multi-mat viewing experience. The Black Belt Absolute running on mats 1 through 3 and 10 through 12. Purple belts running on the other mats here today. And the men are going on mats 1, 2, 11, and 12. And the women are going on mats 3 and 10.
Yeah, a bit of a quiet moment here. Only one black belt match currently in progress here on mat 1. With some key matches in the absolute bracket coming up shortly here.
So it looks like we got actually a black belt women's match over there on mat 10. We can catch the remainder of this. Maria Mawiasak is currently competing against Mayara Montero of Checkmate. We can catch the end of this one while we're waiting for some more. Actually, no, wait. Let's hang on, shall we, Chase? Because it looks like mat 3 is going to be where the action is at. On deck right now, we're going to go to mat 3 because Fionn Davis versus Gabby McComb, they are on deck and they are about to get things underway here. And this is a big one. This is a significant match.
Yeah, Fionn already scored one submission win today against Fernanda Mazzelli, you know, a veteran of the sport. And we haven't seen Fionn stateside in a long time. You know, the pandemic kind of weighed late at those plans, but we're very excited to have her back and already opening with a statement this weekend here.
Yeah, this is one of those matches, could be a super fight, right? You got Gabby McComb, now representing Atos, formerly of Gracie Maita, now currently representing Atos Jiu-Jitsu out of San Diego. Fionn Davis, East Coast Jiu-Jitsu, based in Dublin, Ireland. As you mentioned, here in stateside for the first time in a long time. Second match of the day for both of these ladies. Fionn Davis scored a submission win over Fernanda Mazzelli, excuse me, in the opening round. And Gabby McComb scored a win over Margot Ciccarelli of Unity.
Yeah, we're seeing a bit of the stand-up game right now, and both competitors have great wrestling skills. Fionn, of course, also has a very high-level judo background in the mix. And you see her mixing up maybe some trips as well with a nice shot. But
head on the outside
Gabby,
single there. Guillotine waiting for that, snatching the neck, but they went out of bounds. Will that be points? I don't think so. If they do go out of bounds with a submission active, then it will sometimes award 2 points. Tying up here on the feet, as you mentioned. Interesting to note that that Fionn has adapted the wrestling into her game very well, but she actually has a judo background. Started her grappling career in judo.
Gabby again on the neck off of Fionn's shot. Chasing the back as they work their way towards the boundary of the mat. Wild scramble here. Gabby's got one hook in. This is big. They're still in play here at the edge of the mat. Gabby McComb looking to derail the hype train, but Fionn Davis is able to scramble out. Good recovery from Fionn, at least out of danger.
Oh man, what a scramble. I think they're gonna get a neutral restart after that, because imagine trying to recreate that position.
Really nice look from Gabby McComb there. Had Fionn in all kinds of trouble, from submissions to also a back take. Fionn did well to escape, but that's gotta be a bit of a wake-up call. Gabby seems comfortable to let Fionn shoot. She's twice then wrapped up a guillotine attempt that's turned into some interesting looks for her. And Fionn, you can see a little more cagey, doesn't quite want to drop down due to any level changes.
No, those guillotines are definitely a formidable weapon from McComb. And, you know, I think Fionn realizes now that she needs to tie up, go up high, and that's exactly what she tries to do. But as they go on to off the edge of the mat, I should say.
Yeah, great adjustment from Fionn there to start looking for different types of attacks, everything like that.
McComb is, man, she can be a handful, right? And this is, I think, one of the things that, one of her strongest weapons. Obviously, she's super technical, but she is a gritty fighter. And you come at her hard, she'll come at you harder. And she will raise her game. She's already pretty intense kind of competitor, and she sometimes uses that to overwhelm her opponents. Fionn's obviously very capable and has faced the best in the world, and there's the guillotine awaiting, but the head on the inside single this time. Head in a good position to avoid that choke, but rolls through. Looks like the neck was in danger there for a moment, but man, Fionn is going forward. She is just pushing Gabby McComb all around the mat here, but Gabby McComb has a very clear strategy.
Oh, I love the threat level from Gabby here. I feel like Gabby has done a great job of countering Fionn's wrestling. Fionn may be pushing forward, but she's pushing into danger. And it's been a very exciting match. And you can see Gabby there has 2 advantages, so she's doing definitely a little more damage, and Fionn opts to pull guard, says, okay, I wasn't getting what I wanted from the feet, let's change it up here. So see what she's got from bottom.
I see coaching coaching Gabby McComb from the sidelines is the Atos team, or co-founder, I should say, Andre Galvão. He's probably pretty happy to have picked up. Oh, there, look at that jumping back attack there from McComb onto an arm. Looks like she's got a rear triangle here. She's got the triangle from the back, jumping over the top of the guard into a very, very strong attack position here. This looks deadly. This looks on, Chase.
Yeah, Fionn's in serious trouble here. Gabby doing a really nice job of seizing the moment. Love the aggression.
Hooks the leg. Look at this. A lot of pressure. Man, this is a bad spot to get caught in here. That reverse triangle. It looks like Fionn may actually have her arm tucked inside. You can see her left wrist is inside, so it's taken the pressure off the triangle choke, and her arm is not in danger of the arm bar. But that said, that is a stress position. Look at the flexibility there. The way that Comb is hugging that leg. That's a lot of pressure, Chase.
Yeah, and there's a lot of time left, too. I mean, you do not want to sit in this because you're actively escaping. You're just kind of wearing down as the clock ticks away. Gabby doing a great job. She's not rushing anything. She
gets the rollover.
Sweep, hunts for the arm.
Okay, the arm is now free. We could see the triangle choke or the armbar here. McComb is working on it.
This is a little bit better for Fionn, but definitely still in danger here. And I love the aggression for Gabby McComb.
Still plenty of time on the clock as well. We've got over 5 minutes remaining in this match. How is Fionn going to escape from this position? This is a very difficult spot to get out of. There it is. She gets the fit. Gabby McComb with a big win here in the absolute division. Second round, a submission over the highly ranked, highly touted Fionn Davis with that incredible triangle armbar from the back.
What a way to start the weekend for Gabby McComb.
Taking out two very dangerous opponents in the absolute division. First of all, taking out Margot Ciccarelli of Unity. And now a submission win over Fionn Davis in the second round. We'll see Davis back later today for her weight division match. But Gabby McComb very happy and sharing a moment with her Atos teammates there. Man, can't be... I don't think it can be understated the significance of that submission win over a competitor such as Fionn Davis. Such a strong competitor, and Gabby McComb, as we mentioned, she is world class, very dangerous, and I think the strategy so smart in allowing Fionn Davis to come at her aggressively and then snatching up the guillotines, but then also answering back with that very nice jumping attack into the triangle from the back. semifinal. 12. 12. Okay, so the action continues here at the Black Belt Open Class. You probably saw that tremendous submission that Gabby McComb had over Fionn Davis earlier, and right now we're just counting down the last 30 seconds of this match between Elliot Kelly and David Garmo. This will determine who moves through into the quarterfinals of the male Black Belt Absolute Division. But we have many more matches coming up, and the women's Black Belt Absolute Division is advancing pretty quickly, Chase, I think as a result of probably some of those submissions, because coming up soon on mat 1, we have a semi-final between Gabby McComb and Elizabeth Clay. On mat 12, coming up shortly, we have a semi-final between Maria Mawiasak and Rafaela Guedes. So those two semi-finals in the women's absolute division will determine the finalists who will compete tomorrow afternoon for the Black Belt Absolute Gold. And we'll be joining the action with those matches soon. We see Elizabeth Clay is here on deck, ready to face off with Gabby McComb. We believe that that will probably be the next match here on mat 1, waiting for that to come out. And Maria Mawiasak and Rafaela Guedes waiting for Max Jimenez and Bruno Matias match to be over to come out as well. So lots of action to follow here, Chase, right? And it's been going pretty good so far, I think.
Yeah, I mean, the Absolute's always so crazy to keep up with, especially when you're sat here mat side, because they have 4 mats firing for just the men, and the women as well have their own 2 mats. So it's been really, really fun. Lots of submissions. And like you said, these semifinals in the women's divisions are incredible and should be up shortly. Gabby McComb really, really impressing, I think, everyone here so far today, submitting Fionn Davies like that. And also, in a relatively dominant match throughout, really, countering Fionn's wrestling effectively with that headlock and guillotine attacks. Something special there. But in any case, we'll rejoin the action in just a moment here, folks. Stand by.
Picking up the last couple of minutes here of this open class match between Max Jimenez and Bruno Matias. The Gracie Barra black belt on bottom, fighting out of Gracie Barra West Chase in Houston, Texas. And look at that, trying to come up for a single on Jimenez. Jimenez is huge, man. Jimenez has got to be 6'3", at least 280.
He's definitely an ultra heavyweight.
He's one of the biggest ultra heavyweights, yeah.
But Bruno doing a nice job throughout this match. A wild scramble occurred right before we came in here. with Matias trying to wrestle up. He is trying to do what he can to sweep Jimenez, but that's a tall order for a big man. But I like the aggression. You got to push. You got to push the pace against someone heavier than you, because maybe they'll gas.
Yeah, Matias is not small. He competes in the heavyweight division, and we've seen him down lower than that. We've seen him down like the medium heavyweight division as well. But he's definitely a very explosive athlete, much like his teammates Pedro Mourinho, who will also be competing here this weekend. But Jimenez, man, he knows how to use that size, right? He knows how to put the pressure on. Okay, well, we have the dying seconds of this match here now. Approximately last 10, last 15, and there's 2 advantages on the board for Max Jimenez. 0-0. Looks like it is the GF team, ultra heavyweight, who will advance through in this match. There it is. Time is called. Jimenez's hands in the air, and we have another quarterfinalist determined in this bracket. Well, we're going to just take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back with more action after this.
Guys, we're back here at FloZone at the Nogi World Championships. Got a lot of wild action there. Rafaela Guedes currently on mat 12 with Maria Małajczyk in a very tough semifinal there. But on mat 1, where we are now, we're about to see the semifinal between Gabby McComb versus Elizabeth Clay. Gabby McComb, of course, with that incredible submission win over Fion Davis a little bit earlier in the event here. Really excited to see what she can do against someone like Liz Clay.
Yeah, this is a significant match. We're just cleaning the mats down quickly before the next one happens over here. If you can see over there on mat 12, actually, and we can switch there just while we're taking care of the mats, I think that the match is it's kind of running down. There's about a minute and a half left in on mat 12 between Rafaela Guedes and Maria Małajczyk. And Guedes, of course, coming off that huge win at the Who's Number One Championship just 2 weeks ago. And can you believe, Chase, that she only just completed 1 year as a black belt? She's already won titles such as the Pan No Gi. She's won the Pans in the Gi. She's won the Who's Number One Championships. But now she's going for her first world title, the first of what could be many, the World No Gi Championships here in Texas. And, of course, don't forget that the Gi World Championships are coming up later this year in December, the first IBJJF World Championships since 2019. And I know that the athletes are very excited for that one indeed. This is the more or less the final moments here of this match, which Rafaela Guedes will take 3-0 and close to getting another guard pass here. Looks like she actually may score as she settles down into the side control. Yeah. Doesn't quite, yes, she gets a 3. Referee's hand goes up, she got the 3. She's working on the back here now as well.
Really nice work all match from Rafaela Guedes. You know, surviving an early storm there from Maria's guard. Really dangerous setups there for the triangle and armbar. Rafaela's able to reverse that into a pass and really, really has dominated since then. Strong showing from what has to be one of the favorites in this absolute division.
Yeah, Rafaela Guedes, that is a semi-final match. So she will move through into the finals, which will take place tomorrow afternoon. Rafaela Guedes further establishes her position as one of the best grapplers in the world. And now will fight for her first world title. Tomorrow she's in the finals now for the absolute division, and she will face the winner of the next match here on mat 1, which will be between Elizabeth Clay and Gabby McComb. So we'll find out the other side of that, that final, the other half of that final here shortly. There's still plenty of action to come here at the Nogi World Championships. Just a reminder of what is taking place here today, but we have juvenile blue belts, we have male purple belts, and the black belt absolute will run this morning, and then the weight divisions will return later this afternoon. We'll be working through the early rounds of the weight divisions. Currently on mat 2, you have Pedro Mourinho doing his thing. He is on the back and attacking the neck of Brian Giorgio of Alliance. Can move across and just catch a little bit of that action as we're waiting for things here on mat 1. We definitely want to catch that full semi-final here on mat 1 when they're ready to go. But this match here on mat 2, 8 minutes left, and Pedro Mourinho in a very strong control position here. You can see he's got both hooks in and cranking on that neck.
Oh, this looks like it could be over quick here. Pedro gets the verbal tap there across the neck, across the chin as well.
Man, that was classic Pedro Mourinho. I think that's the best way to describe it. I don't want to be hyperbolic in my description of his application of the choke there, but that was pretty nasty. It's what we expect from him, Pedro, right? He's just an intense competitor, very intense.
Yeah, I expect nothing else. It's the World Championship. It's the absolute bracket, and he wants to come out guns blazing. That's his first match of the day, and what a way to get it done.
Yeah, that was an elimination match in the absolute division. Mourinho will advance through. The bracket of the absolute division for the men is 2 pages, so it's kind of moving along. So far, we've got 1 semi-finalist confirmed, I believe, in the shape of Gabriel Almeida. We have quarterfinals taking place. Pedro Mourinho, with that win, puts him through into a match against Victor Hugo, Chase.
That's a banger.
That's a good one, huh?
Match. Yeah, absolutely. If someone is going to challenge Victor Hugo, it's going to have the athleticism of someone like Pedro Mourinho. So I think that's a match that everyone should be looking forward to, and we'll keep you guys updated at home when it's coming on next.
Well, we'll just take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back in a second with more action. Don't go anywhere. Well, we got the semi-final of this women's absolute division taking place here any second on mat 1 now, as we're back with some action. And this is a big one, Chase. This is a semi-final match between Elizabeth Clay and Gabby McComb to determine two things, actually. To determine one of two things. Either whether Elizabeth Clay will face off with Rafaela Guedes in the final tomorrow afternoon, or whether the Atos team will close out the women's absolute division. Because, of course, Gabby McComb representing Atos, training at the HQ there in San Diego under the guidance of Andre Galvao and Angelica Galvao. Elizabeth Clay representing Aries Jiu-Jitsu. And there, look at that,
Gabby
immediately.
McComb in quick on a shot. Gotta love it, but this is also dangerous here. Liz Clay is wrapped up on the neck, reverses the position.
Okay, that was very interesting. You know, we've talked a lot about Elizabeth Clay's lack of wrestling, or, you know, her propensity for playing the guard and fighting from the bottom position. But that is a great way to take top. You use that guillotine choke, the threat of the submission, to turn your opponent over and put them on their back, and now she's in a very good position.
Yeah, that was really, really slick from Elizabeth Clay. I thought for a moment from our angle here that Gabby was in the clear there, but Liz has a lot of time to work, putting a lot of heavy pressure here in the side control.
Oh, I thought that Gabby McComb was going to blast right through her and put her down, but Elizabeth Clay, she stopped that double leg in its tracks, and she stuffed it.
Liz Clay looking towards her corner there with Casino. Looks to be hunting again for the neck here. May have a chin strap, or at least hunting for one.
Little half guard action there from Gabby McComb. She's got the hook in. Still a lot of pressure on that neck. Not out of danger, right?
No, Liz Clay may just be happy to pass here. This is a nice position she's in. Gabby is definitely in a little bit of danger in more than one way. But Gabby does have that single butterfly hook in, which is better than where she was a few moments ago.
Okay, this is better for McComb now. She's got a little bit of space. She's got distance between the two of them. And I think that this is an opportunity for us to see more top game from Elizabeth Clay now. We rarely see her on top on passing. She's such a famous guard player. And, you know, she's got a weight advantage in this match. It might make sense to use it.
Well, this is an interesting scenario with points, because in a sub-only match, Liz Clay may be just happy to sit down there and play from bottom, her preferred attacking position. But, of course, she would give up 2 in this case. So she cannot do that. And this will force her to play on top. Now, she has looked great so far in the match. She's got 2 points for the guillotine reversal, that takedown, and then as well as an advantage there. So things are going quite well for Liz Clay. But, again, this is definitely not her main strategy typically that we see.
Elizabeth Clay, one of the best no-gi grapplers currently active on the women's black belt scene. Gabby McComb, though, let's not forget that she is a very, very accomplished grappler in her own right. And this young lady, well, she's picked up many titles in her short career, including gold medals at the IBJJF Pan Championships, gold medal at the no-gi Pan Championships, and she placed 3rd in the absolute division of the no-gi World Championships back in 2019. So this is an opportunity for her to make her way into either the 1st or 2nd position. You know, it's a big match for her in many, many levels.
Also got to respect, you know, she's a featherweight, right? Going up against bigger competitors here in the absolute. That's the greatest thing about jiu-jitsu, right? Is seeing sometimes the smaller athlete come out on top. Liz Clay looking to put some pressure down now.
Moving around into the top position.
Gabby bellies down. Liz Clay chasing the back, but nice work from Gabby to avoid.
Guard recovery there from McComb. Very nicely timed spin around, but look at this. It looked like Clay was going to drop off for a guillotine, but this guard retention and recovery of McComb so far, saving her in the face of a lot of pressure. And I like the way that a less than classical butterfly guard position, but it is the butterfly guard. You see, it's the hooks. And I think that maybe is something from her time training with the Gracie Maitar. They were a team very well known for playing the butterfly guard position. Hoyle Gracie, of course, one of the first to really showcase the effectiveness of that technique back in the late 90s. One of the founders, Gracie Maitar, and I think that that shows itself here. The technique has been passed down through the generations, and we see McComb using it here against Elizabeth Clay. See Clay hand fighting from top, looks like she's trying to maybe pass that top hook across to the inside. We get a little closer look at the position here. If we can zoom in a touch, we'll be able to see the crucial details that are going on here. This hand fighting battle is so important. You can see the reverse De La Riva now, that right foot inside from Gabrielle McComb. And she's combining it with kind of an active knee shield from the other one, backing away. And I think the important thing here as well, aside from those guillotine chokes, Chase, I feel like Elizabeth Clay, she's yet to be able to make like a strong torso-to-torso contact. She's been jumping over the top for the neck, but McComb has been doing a really good job of protecting that inside space.
Yeah, she had a brief look at north-south position a few minutes ago, but Gabby had that great recovery. And we've also noticed that Liz Clay is really insisting on passing on one side.
Oh, there's a sweep there for McComb. Very well timed. Clay diving over the top for a guillotine choke, but riding that momentum, using the hook, sweeping Clay. Now it's 2-2. And there's two advantages in the favor of Clay. And we see Clay's famous flexible guard game, trying to drag that leg in. Of course, remember, this is the first no-gi World Championships where heel hooks are allowed. 2021, the year of the heel hook. The IBJJF announced late last year that they would allow the black and brown belt adult divisions, the heel hook, the inside heel hook, all manner of reaping leg locks. And Elizabeth Clay, one of the few women grapplers, Chase, to score a win via heel hook in the IBJJF this year.
Yeah, she's one of the best proponents of that game. And more than that, you know, the threat, of course, opens up a million different attacks. We have back attacks as they try and avoid the heel hooks and things like that. Liz Clay is a great example of the modern jiu-jitsu game. And we have a little bit of a battle in some sense here between traditional stylists and, as we said, the modern techniques. Gabby dives on a neck here from top. This looks pretty good. She looks under the chin.
That is tight.
Liz Clay is definitely working hard to get out of there.
Gets her head out. I think that's a solid advantage right there, but no, the referee doesn't award it. I don't know, looked like there was a lot of pressure on it to me. One of the side referees calls her the advantage, but the score will stay 2-2, two advantages.
And now Gabby is in a little bit of danger here as Liz Clay is looking to isolate a leg, the right leg of McComb. Here she is. She's starting to hunt for that heel hook. There it is.
Wow. Elizabeth Clay making great use of the new rules and the new techniques, attacks available here in the IBJJF, finishing the semifinal match against Gabby McComb with a heel hook, and that, Chase, that will put her into the final tomorrow against Rafaela Guedes. Those two grapplers, they have a lot of history against each other, very aware of each other's games. They've gone back and forth in competition, and now they'll face off again for a World Championship gold medal. That's a big deal right there.
Coming up next on